Hey, what's poppin'? Once again, we are back. This is your boy, Dope Boy, aka Thugs Bunny. Why do they call me that, Kevin?
Because I get rid of the flakes. No, that's
I rock a lot of shampoo. Because I rock a lot of carrots. That's it. I'm Dope Boy, and this is
Kevin Fredericks.
And he's been acting real aggressive. The other day, he said he wanted to fight, so he said call him Fade on stage.
Fade on stage, cause on me I got hands.
So now we're gonna start getting you some acclimates and nicknames. So another episode of Righteous and Ratchet. You know what it is. We talk about trying to be righteous in the ratchet world. I'm more on the ratchet side. You're more on the righteous. And we talk about things, and we have fun. We got Obama in the back, because that's our hero. All right, so today is a very interesting topic. Is it okay? Did you just do the... You're so PG. That's what... And you probably think that was the most risque thing ever. Is it okay, as a Christian, because I put Christian man, but we can say Christian man, woman, just as a Christian, to watch porn?
Oh no, Father God!
No.
Protect my eyes from the slips and the.
This one is gonna get deep, cause we gonna be honest. We gonna tell the people the truth. So is it wrong for me? Cause I recently, I don't know. I'm not gonna give. I'll save that little piece of information for later. But as far as porn's never really been like a huge thing to me. But lately I've kind of been dibbling and dabbling around.
Clicking in the clicker. Huh?
Yes.
Oh, clicking in the clicker.
Yeah, in the clicker. But is it wrong to watch porn?
Well, how could it be right?
Because it's just sex. It's and you're watching it, so at least you're not doing it like.
Well, the Bible, says whatever you've done in your heart, you've already done. And
I never
sexual sins are the most dangerous.
Why? Because herpes?
Sins. No. Because, okay. Car analogy again.
There we go. Come on with your
Car analogy again. Designed for marriage.
Uh-huh.
Used outside of marriage can be very difficult. Mm-hmm. Right? So basically, when you are watching porn, generally you're having lustful thoughts.
Right.
And then,
Then you want to go act on those things. You
want to
go get carnal. You want to go get real.
Take things into your own hands.
Literally and figuratively. So, but back to because we got to get out the gray. Like I always kind of allude to. We got to stop being in the gray. Is it says a sin in the Bible? And where?
It doesn't talk about porn. It doesn't talk about TV or internet. They didn't have the young Wi-Fi password in Gilead.
And porn back in the day would just have to be you creeping behind a rock and seeing
hey, what's up,
Samson lay that thing down on the ladder because she pulling his hair out.
It talks a lot about sexual sins and being careful what you see with your eyes and how that leads to actions and urges and all that stuff. But again, well, that's an episode about masturbation, which is
we're gonna have a masturbation.
We should because. There's one way I was taught the whole way, and then there's, as I've aged, there's Christian authors with biblical evidence who have, I'll say, challenged my thinking.
I seen some guy when I was at church with old girl. He had broke this whole thing down about how masturbation was a sin. I was like, bruh, I'm still going. Choke the chicken. I'm just gonna have it, man. Like, bruh, like no.
I have a friend of mine who uses this thought process, right? He says, he's Christian dude, I want to have sex. Raw.
Because condoms are for suckers.
Or covered. They're not. They're for safety and But he knows that that's not only wrong, the consequences of children and child support are detrimental. So to him, it is better that he watches porn and anoints himself.
Anoints?
Then, because he's like, basically his thought process is, I cannot control these urges. So given the two, because he has access to a girl, good-looking guy, own car, own apartment, stuff like that. So to him, it's like, of the two, I know both are bad. But just off a straight business decision for my life, I know the sin is the same, but the child and child support is more detrimental than the conviction of watching porn
and chlamydia is real out here in these streets too.
Not even his biggest concern is
the child,
the young, whole, entire human.
Right, the whole
that looks like you.
Diaper.
That's the thing that and I'm like,
what do you tell him?
Look, man, it's kind of like what I think about what I'm going to tell my children. I'm going to tell them, marriage is for sex is designed for marriage inside the body of marriage, and here's why X, Y, Z. If you forego that, it is in your best interest to wear a condom.
Mm-hmm.
Because although sex is designed for marriage, if you're gonna be stupid, don't be dumb.
This is an analogy that I always have. You gotta look at it, especially like when when you're dealing with kids. The world is a swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell them all day, don't get in the pool.
Yeah.
Don't. I don't want you in the pool.
Yeah.
But would you rather have, if they do happen to get in the pool, you should probably teach them how to swim.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because two things can happen if they get in that water. They
Yeah.
get bloop, 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 that's it.
Good point.
Or they could just, backstroke out of that thing.
That's how I have a pool in my backyard. And I was like, we could put a gate up.
Put a gate
and
up.
I'm like, yeah. Or we can make sure that
they
they can
know how to
swim.
swim. That's
So,
And
God
that's what I feel like
forbid,
and that's what I feel like Righteous and Ratchet is doing. Is trying to teach people to swim. So let's talk about you and your personal experience. 'Cause I know you flipped out when you seen Bacardi in your auntie's refrigerator. You were like, "What is this? It's gonna burn. It's gonna burn you up." So
Listen,
did you ever deal with porn?
We're always gonna be real on Righteous and Ratchet.
100.
I have struggled with the porn.
Ooh. When? How old are you?
I'm gonna give it to you.
Get into it. Because this is gonna help people.
Even after my marriage.
What?
I wouldn't say it was a struggle, but I would say.
Did you do it in secrecy?
Well, yeah. I'm like, hey,
You want to come see?
if you need me, you're gonna be taking. Similar thought process as my boy I was telling you about, who shall remain nameless for his safety.
That's fine.
Alone in my apartment, on some hormones on 1,000.
Okay. This is when you were married?
Before I was married.
Okay.
Flipping through it's funny how if your hormones are on 1,000, you start flipping through those channels that start with 500.
Oh yeah.
Always gonna be a scene on.
Skinemax is what I like to call it.
Between HBO and Cinemax, one of the two is gonna have
something
what you
going
ain't
on.
looking for,
What you
right? So
Zane's Chronicles. Shout out to Zane's Chronicles.
So my thought process was like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm not married.
Right.
Blah blah blah.
Were you
But
dating
once I
Melissa at the
get-
time?
This is before Melissa. And
Was this about your epic summer? Was this before?
No. Epic Summer, I was just out.
You were just out there.
sex.
Okay, living that life.
Like, I once looked at trying to pull up porn on my computer.
Right.
But it was in the living room of the house.
Oh wow.
And this is like old school internet. It was
This
just
is
like 8,000 pop-ups.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
no.
XXX, tons.
And then somebody always inexplicably has to come in.
Man.
Boy, what is that? Grandma, I need you to get out of here.
So what started, even before Melissa, what started at like 13, my boys had a tape. This
They had a
porn was
tape.
on a tape.
That's hilarious. That's how you know we old.
Porn was on a tape or a magazine. Remember
Right.
the Playboy was like that, had that cardboard piece in front of it?
I'll take it back a step further. I remember going to like Blockbuster, not Blockbuster, but like video stores, and then they had like that back room that you had to be 18 to get into.
You're old, so they had. I remember you like probably saw it from the cave, and it was just like.
Hieroglyphics of things happening. You just watching hieroglyphics like, oh god.
But I'll be off the topic for a little bit.
It's okay.
I was talking about how things challenged me. So, minister and his wife of the church at their house to babysit their kids when I'm 15 in the VCR in the living room, Blacktail Volume 6.
What?
They watched it together. So I'm like, again, it's what I think and what people were actually doing.
This is the pastor?
No, just a minister. Young. He was young though. He was like 28. No. I was just flabbergasted.
Like how did this?
Like this isn't his stash. Right. This is in the living room. Later on,
in plain view.
Me and my wife, I was like,
what? You talked to him about it?
Yeah, I was like, he brought it up later.
Right.
Like a men's thing. I didn't have the gall to ask
So
him.
back then, I know you probably seen that Black Tail 6. Did you watch it? Did you see what she did with that? Oh, you didn't watch it? Okay.
So anyway, fast forward to. I thought when I got married, I was gonna have sex every day, and lo and behold, that's not the truth.
That's not the case.
People got kids before even kids. You got work, you got whatever.
It's just not something that's gonna happen every day.
So there are some times when your mind is set on it, hers isn't, and she falls asleep, and you're just there like,
yeah, you just sitting here and you trying to wake her up and put it on her back and saying she don't want none of that.
So
I know what you're trying to do. Stop it.
Time and time again, not time and time again, but less than a handful of times in the 12 years, I have looked at a body that was not hers.
So porn. So how did you ever get caught? Like, were you ashamed when you were doing it?
Absolutely ashamed.
But why were you ashamed? You're just watching it. She's not really, for it right now. So, because I kind of feel like that just makes it impossible as a Christian.
I don't really know why.
It's like as a single man, they say, don't have sex until you get married. Okay, well now I gotta find a wife. Okay, so I can't have sex with her until I can find her. And then when I marry her, she's not gonna want to do it all the time.
Yeah.
But then I can't go watch porn because I just don't understand any of this. It's like it almost starts to become I don't know. This is, maybe I should just be all the way ratchet. Because it's like, that's hard. Like, especially with you, what do? Your wife doesn't want to do it. It's wrong. And you felt ashamed that you were watching?
Well, both on a spiritual level, and I felt like I was cheating on her a little bit. So there was.
What?
Well, I'm watching another one with another book.
So are you cheating when you watch a movie and there's a sex scene?
Brilliant.
Exact same thing.
Literally, I've never thought of it like that. Power is doggone.
No, that's all it is.
We watch Power together, like.
They start every episode. Angela, I'm sick of seeing his back tattoos.
I've seen Omari's butt one too many times.
So is that cheating?
I've never, literally, you have challenged my thinking again. I've never thought about it. Literally didn't even put those part of my brains were on China and San Diego. Like, I know I felt bad. I felt awful.
But you didn't feel bad watching Power?
No. Most of the time we watch Power together, though, so maybe that's, Game of Thrones the same way. She never watches Game of Thrones.
But you never even compute it like that. Maybe because you just don't see the full on.
Maybe because there ain't nothing else there's other stuff in Game of Thrones.
But I think that's a brilliant point. I mean, that's fine. There's other stuff in porno. They come up like, hey, you want a pepperoni pizza?
Or you want the
penis? Or did you want the penis pizza? Why did you show up with no shirt on, first of all? So that's not how people deliver pizzas. So that's what I'm saying. It's just just look at the parallel of what you just said. You just said, back in the day, you would, I got the light, got your boy on fleek. All right, so you just said that you would, in secrecy and ashamed, and with no one else watching except for God, you would watch porn and feel as if you were cheating on your wife.
Yes. /
to the other point, you can watch television shows that have sex that just don't show you the actual in and out. Yeah. But show you everything else.
Literally, they just don't show you
areolas, everything.
They just don't show you penis.
But you socially watch that, come to work, talk about it, me, you, and Scarlett talk about it, and it's very perfectly socially acceptable. But you don't do it in the dark in the closet like I'm cheating. But it's sex is sex. Can we watch it or not?
I as a Christian?
As a Christian. Because if that's the case, then the Christian shouldn't be able to watch Power. Because that's sex. Just like a porn is sex. This is getting good. It's getting great. I feel like I'm finally stopping you a little bit. I'm knocking you off your pivot. You're like
you came into the fight. I'm going to knock him out.
Wait. You hitting for real? Oh, you're serious?
Is my eye closed? I think my eye's closing. He was supposed to go down. I hit him with everything. He just ate that punch. He literally bit my glove and swallowed a piece of it. And he's still punching.
So, how do you
usually have my points pre-planned and the thing. You have questioned me to a point where I don't even.
It's tough.
I don't know that difference.
Because you're watching sex. That's what it is. It is sex. You're watching them, whether it's in a more deeper, and that's just like, even like with the drinking and smoking thing, it's just like, we attack those things because it's easy to do, but I mean, this is the same thing. You are watching sex. You're watching two people have sex. Period. Point blank. So if it should be wrong in one, then it has to be wrong in the other. It can't be both. This is the gray area. We have to bring out a black and a white crayon and erase it because we need to know. Because if I can't watch Gang Bang in Compton, you can't watch Power. As Christian men, and if one is a sin, if it's a sin to watch porn, then it's a sin to watch Game of Thrones.
I want to pause for station.
Victory is mine.
I want to pause for station identification.
So let me ask you this: because you said you alluded to the point where you were with you went to the minister's house and it was in the VCR. Yeah. Can you watch it as a married couple?
Man.
And that's I think that's a genius point that your man said. That look, man, I don't want to be out here spreading my seed somewhere, so I'm gonna just watch this. Get it off. It's probably a lot cheaper too.
There's been times where I've been in marriage counseling, like in a group at church, and people have been like, "Me and my wife watch it," and I've outside of sexual sins and stuff. The leader of the marriage thing has never really had a strong answer for if you are including your wife. Because usually what they say is, when you're watching porn by yourself and you try to go tell your wife, now you violated the marriage covenant and you're trying to get her to do stuff that she can't do, blah, blah, blah. Right. This guy's point was me and my wife watch it to get ideas, or we make our own and then watch that, and I'm just like, is it a sin?
Is that a sin? Is it a sin to make porn?
Looking at myself in the mirror, I said,
I
I don't have the body for this, number one, so I'll tell you that. Not gonna have it on my watch, and thanks to iCloud, you ain't gonna see no Belly McGee on Instagram.
Belly McGee?
On Shade Room or Famous or Baller Alert. So, I mean, I wouldn't be on there yet. Anyway. But still.
But it's, okay, and so I guess we alluded to this.
Why would you be, what would be the glorifying and edifying body of you're a man of God.
Mm-hmm. Right.
How is watching porn building you up in your man of godness?
It ain't, but I like to have sex. But you know what I'm saying? Me doing crazy, stupid videos at ADD doesn't always mean that's a great thing, edifying God. Like, do you see some of the stuff I say? I say condoms are suckers. Who knows what I'm doing to the youth? They might really be like, yeah! I don't know. I'm ridiculous and all over the place. And everything that I do, unfortunately, I don't know if it does.
What would you tell your son?
What I tell my son about watching porn?
Yeah.
Watch it. Learn how to do it, but when you have sex, you'll know how to do it. But see, I'm gonna be real with.
Don't tell him that.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be like, look, by the book, what should you do? You should absolutely wait till you get married. Blah 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 blah. You should do that. In the event that you're starting to feel like you can or you want to go a different direction, we can have a different conversation. Because if nothing else, I want my son to be able to talk to me. I don't want to just be like, don't do sex until you get married. Maybe he don't want to get married. Maybe he wants to have sex in college. I don't want to rob him of the living experience. I want to give him all the information I can.
But do you feel like you'd be raising him to be a godly king of the godliness?
Yes, because that's the thing, though. Just because, I mean, I feel like, and this might go off topic a little bit, but
it's our show.
It's our show. I feel like my testimony will, in the end, greatly impact a lot of people. I don't feel like I'm gonna be ratchet forever. Right. I feel maybe around 44, 45. I'll start to level out.
What if you don't make it?
God willing. God willing.
What if the rapture comes next Thursday?
Burn you up. But I feel like in my mind, God willing, if I make it to that age, then I do get that woman, I do settle down. The life that I live will be very instrumental in teaching people. Almost to where I might
telling them what not to do?
What not to do, or just what I did. Yeah. And being honest, I think to where at some point in some rooms I might be a little bit more effective than you might be.
Absolutely.
You know, like if I went to go talk to some youth in a prison, I can identify them because I've broken the law. Like I've done things.
Too, man.
That one summer you had 2 jaywalking tickets and a parking ticket and a carpool violation. Now all of a sudden he's Big Meats, Larry Hoover head. Like, no. So I feel like you gotta be honest with people and say, hey, now in the perfect world, of course, we're all never gonna do nothing wrong. But in the event
other thing about porn is it can be addictive too.
Were you addicted? Kurt Franklin was on record for saying that he was addicted to porn. There was a gospel rapper named The Saga that was on. He raps about like how he was addicted to porn. I think that people might be addicted to porn. I don't know how you get addicted to porn. I can't watch other people do it that long. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not getting anything out of this. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I'm not built like these guys and these things. So I'm like, if she's taking all that from him, I don't know what. So that's a different topic. But I'm not really into it like that. But when you were on, how often would you say you were watching it?
I mean, like I said,
every day.
No, heck no. It's less than probably 10 times in my entire life.
And you felt bad every single time.
Less than 15.
This is the point that I was bringing up.
And yes, I felt bad every single time.
This is the point I was bringing up because you had alluded to earlier. Because I said, well, does it say in the Bible that you can't do this? You said, well, it's, of course, because technology, da da da. So there's a lot of parables or metaphors that we could look at in the Bible and say, okay, this is how you apply it to modern day. Is there anything that says you cannot watch 2 other people have sex?
Well, the Bible talks a lot about sexual sins and lust.
What does it say?
I mean, I don't have it memorized, but
just
the gist.
Paraphrase.
Gist is everything's cool under the covenant of marriage.
Okay.
Right? Having these thoughts about sex, visions, or watching people or lusting after people is dangerous to you, to your body, and it separates you from God. Mm-hmm. That's the gist of it.
So that's really not really even it. So can you watch it or not? Is it a sin?
I would not recommend you watch it.
That's not the question. Is it a sin or not? Because there's kids coming up. Okay, so what are you gonna tell your kids about porn? What if JoJo comes in one day and says, Dad, I was at school, kid had a phone, he showed me some things I wish that I can't unsee.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm more afraid of than porn is like you be going down your Twitter timeline and somebody that you follow
like, whoa, how did you even get that clear?
A link And for my kids, my fear isn't even that.
I think your Seahawks are losing.
It's everybody has a phone.
Right.
Nudes are such a big part of common culture.
Oh my God.
Or it's just
or sometimes I don't know if you ever get these because people probably respect you, but like I get tons of girls like I don't even know what I'm opening when I open DMs. Yes, and it's just like whoa, she's in the shower. That's happening.
I don't get that. Thank
it's
God,
just I just open it. And you didn't have a warning. You didn't even know.
No.
So what do you do that day when JoJo comes? He says, "Dad, I've seen some things."
Man,
what do you tell him? He's like, "Can I continue to watch this?" Because he gave me the link. Here's the link. What are you gonna say? Because I know your answer is gonna be much different.
Here's the link.
Than I would tell my son.
I would not encourage my son to watch that. I would say what it's gonna more than likely do to you is make you want to watch it more, or make you want to act on those impulses. And acting on those impulses outside of the right time is gonna probably put you in a position where you are either in a long-term relationship with somebody because of your parenthood, or long-term relationship with medicine because of STD.
Ugh. Herpes is the gift that keeps on giving. I call it the no receipt. You can't take it back. Nothing for equal or lesser value. You just have it. You just have it. So just to put a button on it, because we can go back and forth on it all day. Is watching sex a sin? We don't know. I don't think that we can say it is or it isn't. We could just say.
Well, here's the problem.
We can give
I never thought of the difference between porn and power.
Yeah, porn and power.
I'm so dizzy right now. I
seen it on your face. I've never seen that look. I was like, I hit a nerve.
I gotta seek the face of the Lord because I'm out here like, I know nothing about nothing.
And the crazy thing is, even with my ex or whatever. She's the same way because she would never watch porn because she's Mrs. Jesus and she be just as hyped about power as me.
You stumped me, man.
So hop in the comments, man. Let us know. We ain't got to harp on this one. I think this was a hot button topic, so we kind of got in and got out on it. What do you guys think? Is it okay to watch porn as a single person? Can you watch porn in your marriage and be fruitful? And is it a sin to watch sex with two other people? Because even though power might not show you the actual Sheboygan, you get the point of what they're doing. And we have all seen the fact that Omari Hardwick's butt is darker than his back. So I hate that I know that, but I do because I watch Power. Hop in the comments. Let us know what y'all want us to talk about next on Righteous and Ratchet. This has been your boy, Doughboy, a.k.a. Bareback Belcher.
KevOnStage. See you next time.
You just want to go see what happened on the game.
Absolutely.